Rage said that I could play whatever music videos I wanted, and I wanted to play mostly Lana Del Rey.
I was in the winter of my life.
I was in the winter of my life.
And the men I met along the road were my only summer.
And the men I met along the road were my only summer. At night I fell asleep to visions
of myself
dancing and laughing and crying with them. 3 years down the line of being on an endless world tour, and my memories of them were the only things that sustained me. I was a singer, not a very popular one. I once had dreams of becoming a beautiful poet. I'm gonna play the video now. Hey, I'm Mallrat, and this weekend I am taking over Rage. I am going to be playing you some of my favourite music videos of all time from artists like Young Lean, Amyl and the Sniffers, Addison Rae, Young Thug. I hope you watch it. I was in the winter of my life, and the men I met along the road were my only summer. At night I fell asleep with visions of myself dancing. Hey, I'm Mallrat, and this morning I am guest programming Rage. I'm picking a bunch of my favourite music videos, so stick around with me for the next hour or so, and I hope you like them. The next video you're going to see is Got Me Started by Troye Sivan, and Troye Sivan has released some absolutely brilliant music videos recently. In fact, I feel like it's actually made everyone feel excited, at least in circles that I'm in, about music videos again, and how powerful and beautiful they can be. The way that he moves, the styling, and of course the song, everything about it is just beautiful. And actually, when I first saw this video, I got really emotional and I started crying because I was just so proud that an Australian artist who's so wonderful made something so good, and it made me feel actually proud to be from here. So this has got me started. Troye Sivan is a national treasure. The next video that you're about to see is by Cub Sport, and it's for their song Confessions. Cub Sport are possibly my favourite band ever. It's them and it's Amyl and the Sniffers, and I think that this song Confessions is one of the most underrated songs in history. I think that if Kanye heard this song, he would want to sample it. It's perfect, and I'm just doing my bit to get the word out about this beautiful slept-on song, Confessions by Cub Sport. The next video that you're going to see is Oblivion by Grimes, and this is one of my favourite videos ever. I've referenced it a few times, or maybe just once actually. I referenced it for my music video Teeth, but Grimes is walking through a stadium and there are people going in front of the camera and she looks so out of place and you can't look away. It's so cool. Also, there's something about stadium lighting and how white it is and how it's just coming down on you that I think is so special and creates a really alien-like atmosphere. But yeah, this is Grimes' Oblivion. Rage said that I could play whatever music videos I wanted, and I wanted to play mostly Lana Del Rey, and so now you're about to see a bunch of my favourite Lana videos. First up is National Anthem, and this is truly an iconic concept. Lana Del Rey here is playing both Marilyn Monroe and the First Lady, and A$AP Rocky has been cast as a young JFK. So strap in, you're in for a beautiful, wild ride. This is National Anthem by Lana Del Rey. I am Mallrat and I'm from Brisbane, and I'm very, very proud to be from Brisbane. I feel like it has been an important part of me and made me who I am. And I love seeing Brisbane represented in art, which doesn't happen very often. actually the only example that I can really think of is Boys Follows Universe by Trent Dalton. But it was really important to me when I was making these music videos to try and show it off a little bit, or show kind of the imaginary worlds that I built within Brisbane. So this is Horses, and we're actually not really in Brisbane. We're just outside of Brisbane in Rosewood, which is kind of near Ipswich. If you're from Queensland, you might know where that is. And we were so excited to be filming somewhere where we didn't think that anyone had shot before. And we went to this little train station at the end of the Ipswich line called Rosewood Station. And we were talking to the station master. And we were like, yeah, we're actually going to do a music video here if that's okay, like if that's cool. And he was like, oh yeah, done heaps of videos here. So many. Did Shannon Knoll, Ernie Dingo, heaps of TV. And we were like, okay, well, whatever. Dream crushed. But yeah, this is Horses. Hey, I'm Mallrat. You've been hanging out and watching some of my favourite music videos with me. I'll be back on Rage tonight, playing even more songs that I love. Hopefully see you there, but for now I'm going to say goodbye and I'm going to leave you with Pavement. Hey, I'm Mallrat and I'm guest programming Rage tonight, so I'm going to be playing some of my favourite music videos of all time. Let's kick it off. The next video that you're about to see is by Caroline Polachek, and it's for Welcome to My Island. Caroline Polachek is one of those artists that just has consistently brilliant music videos, and I feel like she's tried all different approaches and she's had very varying budgets, and every single time her imagination and the imagination of the people that she works with just shines through, and it's really inspiring. But this is one of my favorites, and this is Welcome to My Island. And my favorite thing about it is actually the opening scene and just watching her eyes as she performs this operatic vocal that she does. Yeah, so this is Caroline Polachek, Welcome to My Island. The next song that you're about to see is Kerosene by Eve's Tumor featuring Diana Gordon. And you're about to see how brilliant this video is, so I don't need to talk about it too much. It's crazy. But something interesting that I do want to mention is the Diana Gordon feature. Diana Gordon, you may not think that you know her, but you know her for a lot of reasons. The first is that she's an incredible songwriter, and she's worked on music for all sorts of brilliant artists like Dua Lipa, I think Beyonce. She's a really good songwriter. But the other reason that you know her is because she used to be called Winter Gordon, and she had that song, I am no angel, I like it when you do that stuff to me. Dirty talk. But yeah, she's had a massive evolution. She's always been extremely cool. But this is her in Kerosene by Eve's Tumor. The next video that you're about to see is from one of my favourite artists ever, Young Lean, and this song is Ginseng Strip 2002. You're looking at a baby Young Lean in this video. He's like 14 years old or something. And I remember when it came out, everyone was like, what the hell is this Swedish teenager doing, like rapping like this? But something about it is so magic, and he's a genius. He's really, really cool. When I was 17, I snuck into this little club in Brisbane to see Young Lean play. This was in 2015 or 16, and I didn't know anybody there. I just went in by myself somehow, and I made some friends, and I saw him, and I have remained a fan since. I just really love this artist, and it's so cool to look back at this as the beginning of his career. And also for this song to have had another moment recently is really, really cool. Young Lean forever. Hey, I'm Mallrat, and you're watching Rage. Hey, I'm Mallrat, and I'm back again on Rage, and I'm picking all of my favourite music videos. Hope you like them. I was in the winter of my life, and the men I met along the road were my only summer. At night I fell asleep to visions of myself dancing and laughing and crying with them. 3 years down the line of being on an endless world tour, and my memories of them were the only things that sustained me and my only real happy times. I was a singer, not a very popular one. I once had dreams of becoming a beautiful poet, but upon a series of unfortunate events, I saw those dreams dashed and divided like a million stars in the night sky that I wished on over and over again, sparkling and broken. But I didn't really mind, because I knew that it takes getting everything you ever wanted and then losing it to know what true freedom is. When the people I used to know found out what I had been doing and how I had been living, they asked me why. But there's no use in talking to people who have a home. They have no idea what it's like to seek safety in other people, for home to be wherever you like, in your head. I was always an unusual girl. My mother told me that I had a chameleon soul. No moral compass, no fixed personality, just an inner indecisiveness that was as wide and wavering as the ocean. And if I said I didn't plan for it to turn out this way, I'd be lying. Because I was born to be the other woman, who belonged to no one, who belonged to everyone, who had nothing, who wanted everything, with a fire for every experience and an obsession for freedom that terrified me to the point that I couldn't even talk about it, and pushed me to a nomadic point of madness that both dazzled and dizzied me. That's it. That's Ride monologue. We're gonna play the video now. The next video that you're going to see is Telephone by Lady Gaga and Beyonce. When I was in grade 7, this was definitely my favorite song. My friend requested it at the school disco for me, the blue light disco, and that made me really happy. I had this video downloaded from iTunes, and so I would watch it every day, and there's no need for me to hype it up. You know how good it is. The one shout out I want to give is to the styling and specifically the Coke bottles in the hair. Yeah, this is Telephone by Lady Gaga and Beyonce. Next, you're about to watch one of the most important music videos I've ever seen, which is 212 by Azealia Banks. It's not a complicated video, but it stopped me in my tracks when I first saw it. I probably was 12 years old. I was at a friend's house at a sleepover, and my dad was coming to pick me up just as it was on TV, so I didn't get to see the end credits saying the name of the artist and who the song was by. But all I knew was that I saw a girl wearing hair like this, and she had a big Mickey Mouse jumper on, and she was looking directly in the camera and saying, "I'm a ruin you cunt." And I was like, who is this? What is this? I need to know. This is changing my life right now. And so I spent a long time like typing different things into Google to try and find it, being like, girl wearing Mickey Mouse jumper, I'm a ruin you cunt. And eventually I found out that it was Azealia Banks, and it was this song 212. And it began a long obsession with this artist, and I've been lucky enough to collaborate with her since, and that's a bit of a dream come true. But yeah, this is Azealia Banks 212. Hey, I'm Mallrat, and you're watching Rage. This next video is Diet Pepsi by Addison Rae. Addison Rae, to most of the world, is a big surprise superstar, but I have had an inkling for a long time. Ever since a few of her demos leaked to YouTube, I have been an Addison Rae stan, and I'm just completely obsessed. Her energy reminds me of a young Britney Spears, and I think she's going to go really far. The songs are perfect. Her energy on camera is just unbelievable, and this Diet Pepsi song and video is just, I think, a small taste of what she's capable of. I'm a big fan, and I'm really excited to see what happens next. This is Addison Rae, Diet Pepsi. Hey, I'm Mallrat, and it's way past your bedtime, but we're here and we're watching Rage. The next video that I'm about to play is LSD by A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky has so many good music videos, but this is one of my favorites ever. Yeah, it's quite hypnotizing, but my favorite thing about it is at the end, and from what I've heard about this shoot, this was quite a spontaneous decision, but at the end, A$AP Rocky is rapping one of the other tracks from this Long Live A$AP album called Excuse Me into the mirror, and the camera angle and the camera work is so clever. I have watched it so many times trying to figure out how they did it. Eventually I asked a few people and we got to the bottom of it, but it's basically magic. Yeah, this is A$AP Rocky LSD with a little snippet of Excuse Me by A$AP Rocky at the end. The next video that you're going to see is Bound To by Kanye West, a video that was very ahead of its time, I think. A lot of people probably thought it was just bizarre when it came out, but I think it's aged really well, and I think it's quite funny how much of the footage looks like stock footage. Looks like a caricature of stock footage, actually, but it's really beautiful and a beautiful song. And this is Bound To by Kanye. Hey, I'm Mallrat, and you're watching Rage. Amyl and the Sniffers' recent album is called Cartoon Darkness, and the video for this song, Chewing Gum, I think is the most potent example of the world that Amy, the lead singer, is imagining, where everything is like a caricature of itself, and this video feels like a cartoon playing out in real life in the most incredible way. I'm such a big fan of this band, of Amy as a person, and also of the director of all their music videos, PHC Films. They are such an incredible band, and yeah, John is an incredible director. So there are going to be a lot of Amyl and the Sniffers music videos being played tonight, but this is one of their newer ones called Chewing Gum. Hey, I'm Mallrat. You've been hanging out with me on Rage, and you've just seen some of my favorite music videos of all time by some of my favorite artists of all time. Now you're going to see some of my videos. Here we go. The next music video that you're going to see is for my song called Teeth, and this music video is definitely the most ambitious thing that I've ever tried to do, and actually executed semi-successfully. I had this idea that this last album, Butterfly Blue, all the sounds in it were either monster trucks or like angel choirs, and I wanted a video with monster trucks in it. So I came up with this idea that was inspired by siren mythology, you know, the mermaids that like lure sailors to their death. But instead of it being a siren luring a sailor to his death, I wanted it to be a siren luring a monster truck driver to his death. So that's what happens here, along with some references to like Lady Godiva, who's another historical figure, and a few other little bits and pieces, but I'm very, very proud of this video. This is Teeth. The next video that you are going to see is Hocus Pocus by me and Keto. I want to talk about the director that I've been working with lately. His name is Tom Carroll Egume, and when I found his work and I realized that we were actually a really good fit to work together, I felt such a massive sense of relief, and then I felt really, really excited and inspired, because it's just, no matter what you're doing, when you find like a creative partner that just gets it, it is the best feeling, and it's kind of rare. So yeah, this pairing, working with him, has just made me so happy and actually really made me excited about music videos again. He's so smart, and we both have a love of, I guess, Brisbane and magic, and yeah, so I just wanted to shout him out because he's so cool, and this is something that we made together called Hocus Pocus. The next video that you're about to see is the most recent one I put out for Pavement. This song samples Cub Sport, so I asked Tim from the band to make a little cameo in the video. There's also a cameo from the Story Bridge in Brisbane, and there's a little nod to Sailor Moon as well, who's one of my personal heroes. This is Pavement. Hey, I'm Mallrat, and you are watching Rage.